Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the movie Rememory that stars Peter Dinklage, who you will know from Game of Thrones, and Julia Ormond. And this movie is a science fiction movie that is set in, I suppose, the near future. And it revolves around Peter Dinklage's character, who we see at the beginning of the movie. He is in a car accident with his brother. We assume his brother doesn't live, and then it skips forward some time, and he's obviously haunted by this memory. We see him in his workshop. It's like a warehouse where he lives. He's like a model maker, and he goes to like seminar, scientific seminar hosted by this genius professor who has invented this memory machine. Is it Rememory machine? Something like that. And this machine can essentially extract your memories, so you can pretty much watch them like you can like watch them on TV almost, the memories from your past. And it can help in a number of ways. It can help people put psychological issues, bring them back from the memories, look at them, put issues to bed from their past. It can help people with dementia. There's so many ways that this can be put to use, or so it is explained to us anyway. And Peter Dinklage's character, basically, he wants access to this machine because he wants to see what happened again that night when he was in the car crash with his brother, when his brother kind of said something to him, pretty much his final words, and Peter Dinklage can't recall what they were, and he needs closure on this. So he wants to be part of this machine. He wants access to this machine so that he can do this. The night of the seminar, there are a number of people connected to this professor go and see him, and then we learn that this professor then dies. We're not sure how. There's an investigation, and then Peter Dinklage, for some reason, gets his hands on this Rememory machine, and he starts using it to trace his own memories, and he's also got access to everybody else's memories as well that has been part of the test subjects, and they're all like stored on these like glass things that you slide into it. So he's looking at his memories, but he's also looking at everybody else's memories. He does have a history with this professor and his family, and he wants to piece together the puzzle as to how this professor has died. So he builds a relationship with the professor's wife, his widow, to try and help her find out who killed this genius professor. That's kind of where we're going with this story here. I don't want to say any more. Obviously, I don't want any spoilers here. It is quite a difficult film to explain this. I don't feel as though it's overly complex. It's just not particularly well told, this story. But the positives here first. Okay, the positives. Well, positives are, I think this is a beautifully made film. It's filmed very beautifully. It looks wonderful. Some of the cinematography is really quite special. The acting here is top notch. Peter Dinklage is very, very good. Julia Ormond is very good, and there's a couple of others that stand out as well. We have Anton Yelchin as well in this movie. The young actor who unfortunately died, and I believe this was his last movie. And Anton Yelchin from the Star Trek movies, in case you don't know, the modern Star Trek movies. So it looks beautiful. It's acted very, very well. What lets this film down is its pacing. It's very slow. The central story isn't interesting enough to draw you in. The technology that they try and sell us for this rememory machine is flawed at best, really. I personally couldn't see how it could be particularly useful to anybody, certainly with a medical condition. I guess it would be pretty cool to look at your memories on telly, and that's about all I could really see of it being of use, really. But they kind of brought their own rules as well during the movie in regards to how this machine can be used. The storytelling wasn't particularly good. There was only one of these Rememory machines, and you would see Peter Dinklage with it in one scene, using it for whatever reason, and the very next scene, Julia Ormond would have it. And even though they were pretty friendly at this point in the movie, you never saw him handing the machine over to her and her handing it back, and so it was a bit back and forth and a bit confusing. Um, I think this would have been better if it had been a stronger story and a bit more of a who done it. It was more a case of I don't care who did it because it wasn't interesting enough. It's hard. It's you don't really want to say it, but it was a bit dull, the movie. But I didn't hate it. It was just middle of the road stuff. It's not a movie I would want to watch again, but it's not a movie I wouldn't say don't watch either. It's just pretty middle of the road.